Hi there, I'm Sneh here. This video is for an assignment 3 unit 207, a philosophy statement. So I'm doing a personal reflection for a personal pedagogy. What's my personal theory of the child, personal image of the child, and we're gonna connect all the points which I write on an assignment here. So it will be a brief video. So let's go. What about child? What is child? So um from my background where I came from, or even I saw here that it's very common that it says a child is an empty slate or empty container. You can put your knowledge or you can put anything which he can consume, but that's not what I believe. After studying 2 years in an early childhood education, after studying many of the other theories and understanding what the child is actually, what I believe is that they are already capable, already competent, already full of ideas. And my job as an educator to notice those things, to notice their interest is, to notice what they're good at, and to build on it. That single belief shapes basically every decisions I make about curriculum and pedagogy. I got some of my notes on a side um, for the whole video, and so let me unpack what I actually mean because they got used loosely a lot. For me, curriculum is everything: the routines, the resources, the conversations, the in between movement, not just planned activities on a program. Pedagogy is what I do with all of that. The relationship I build, the choices I make in the moment, the way I respond when a child does something I didn't expect. And honestly, I don't think you can separate the two of those. Honestly, I don't. I mean, if there is a fully resourced room, but if I'm not there to supervise them, to answer their questions, to answer the expressions, then it's just furniture. If I'm not there for the watching, scaffolding, or responding, then it's just a furniture. That idea came straight out of the Vygotsky's theory, where learning happens through relationship and guided interactions. And it also written directly into the evaluative practices around holistic and around other approaches. Now with the play, the old thinking of the play is that you do certain tasks and then you gotta do the play. But for my belief is the play is the task. The play is not something different which you do after doing an activities or after doing any boring activities. It used to be before that you do something, I'll let you do the play. But here and new play, my personal theory. So it says that I don't believe finish your task and then you get to play. I don't believe that anymore. Play is the task, like I said. It's where children processes emotion, test ideas, negotiate with peers, and build language. Often all that once. But here's the critical bit, and I think this is where a lot of well-meaning educators get it wrong. Not all play is the same. There are certain types of play, children-led play, highly, I mean, teachers actively engage play. So let's have a look on it. Letting children's free play all day isn't automatically good practice either. There is a child-led play. There is an adult-guided play, which is where sustained shared thinking happens, where I can gently extend a child's thinking within what Vygotsky called the zone of proximal development. And then there is one more play, adult-directed play, which I still uses, but mostly for safety or when a child genuinely needs explicitly modeling of a skill. My job is reading which mood a movement calls for, not defaulting to one like I said before. Even when it's about the child, the teachers has to know what the childs are interested in, what they're in a mood of. We cannot just follow the schedule what it says or follow the certain type of action, but we are highly dependent on the children what they are seeking for. instead of just doing our things. In terms of how I actually teach day to day, two strategies really anchor my practice. The first is scaffolding, giving just enough support so a child can reach slightly beyond what they could do alone, then pulling back as they got more capable. With an infant, that might be as simple as physically helping guide their hands towards a spoon. With a toddler, maybe a quite verbal nudges while they are taking blocks. With the preschoolers, it could be a open-ended questions like we do in most of the learning experiences that helps them work through a disagreement with their friends themselves instead of me just stepping in and fixing it for them, which I'll admit is sometimes tempting because it's faster. Like, um, what do you think will happen? What do you think? Do you do that at home? Do you ever see that? So do's, does, and what, those open-ended questions. Now I really would like to connect all those points which I mentioned in the framework, in the assignment. How all of this connects to the framework that guided my professional practice, because I think alignment shouldn't be assumed, it should be shown. Starting with the early evaluations, across all five learning outcomes, my practice has a clear rule. For identity, it's about consistent, secure relationship that helps children feel safe to take risks. For connectedness to the community, it's building genuine partnership with families, not just polite small talk at pickup. For well-being, it's predictable routines paired with the responsiveness, structure, and flexibility together. For being confident and involved learner, it's the emergent, play-based curriculum I have already described. And for effective communicators, it's sustained conservation storytelling and the kind of questioning I just mentioned. This also maps on the Australian professional standards for the teachers at graduate level. There are seven standards, and yeah. And if I zoom out even further, all of that sits inside the three domains of teaching. Professional knowledge is the theory, child development, social cultural learning, the evaluate itself, understanding why children the way they do. Professional practice is actually doing it. The scaffolding, the questioning, the balance of play types in the room day after day. And professional engagement is the reflective relationship, critically reflecting on my own practices, being honest about where I get it wrong, and working respectfully with families and colleagues rather than assuming I have all the answers. So talking with the families regarding the child, understanding their scenarios rather than assuming what do you think the child is. So getting all the scenarios, all the perspectives, and then making a decision considering all the perspectives rather than being stubborn and stick to your own opinion. I want to finish on this. Every child who walks into a room, I am responsible for deserves an educator who sees them as a capable regardless of the background, ability, culture, or family circumstances. That means responsive teaching, adapting to child in front of me, not expecting them to fit a program I designed in advance. It means inclusive teaching genuinely values diversity, not just acknowledging it on paper. And it means ethical teaching, putting children's rights, voice, and well-being ahead of convenience, traditions, or what's simply easier for me as an adult in the room. That's a philosophy. That's a philosophy I'm committing to, not just for this course, but for the this kind of educator I want to be. Thank you. So, if I just say, if I just wrap up all the things, then I would say that the teacher's hand should be always spread out, always open for the children's. This, without any discrimination, they has to be always open, and they are for the children's. They are for the families. They are for the communities. As an early childhood teacher, that's what my philosophy is, that's what my belief is for the children's, and as a working in an ECE center. Thank you, Snehi.